Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Steve Deanna, and welcome to the first taping of Bring It On. I'll be your host, Stephen Deanna, and we're going to have our first guest will be the lovely Miss Cristina F right here, who is very talented, has a great voice, and we're going to find out a little bit about Cristina. We're going to show some clips of her playing, which I think you're going to really like. And I started the show because there's a lot of great talent in the metropolitan area. And I want a lot of people to know about a lot of original talent, which makes it even a little tougher. And I'm kind of honored, actually, to have Cristina here as our first guest. And we're going to have a little conversation. We're going to have a little fun today. And Cristina, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Cristina, a little like we've had a few talks and everything. Just start out telling a little bit about yourself, like with music, like things that you're trying to do, because you're an original artist and you play guitar, which not everybody does. Just tell us a little bit on that, and I'll have some other questions for you.
Like how I started?
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Well, I mean, yeah, I sing. I taught myself guitar because I didn't want to have to worry about finding a guitarist, and I just wanted to get out there. And, I'm not amazing at it, but I can pull it off. Like, I do shows for 3 hours, covers, whatever. I started singing when I was 19, which I want to say was 3 years ago, but it wasn't.
It wasn't that long ago.
It was a long time ago.
Okay.
I always sang since I was little, and then when I was in college in the dorms, I was freaking out. I was like, I'm going to sing, people are going to hear me, because I always made the music so loud. And I would see the shadows under the doors in the dorms. And I was also across from the bathroom, so I don't know what that
I don't think they would mind you singing. I know how you sing. I think they'd be happy that you were singing.
Well, yeah, and then my roommates, when we lived in a house, they were like, you need to do SU Idol. It was like the American Idol version of my school.
This is in college?
In college, yes.
Okay.
So I like went there and I sat in the back and I was like typing quotes in my phone, like the only thing worse than trying and failing is not trying at all. So I went up there, I signed up, and I auditioned, and I ended up winning the whole thing, which was really cool.
Men, women,
everybody there. I don't know how many people tried out, but I was top 16, I was top 8, then I was top 4, and then I won, and I was pretty surprised. And I was like, maybe I can do this. So I've always wanted to. Yeah, that was like my first, I guess, revelation. I don't know.
That you had something going on and you could do it?
I mean, I always wanted to, but I was in the back, like in my room. Like, I'm not going to get anywhere in my room, so.
What song did you sing that you won with?
I sang 2 songs. So I sang Leave, Get Out by JoJo. I love her. And Not Ready to Make Nice by the Dixie Chicks. That was my second song.
Okay. So they must have really liked you, which is all good stuff, too.
It was a good time.
Now, what about even like with your original stuff? When did you start thinking that you could do that? Because I think your stuff is great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wrote like here and there. I think I really started writing when I lived in Florida. I lived there for 2 years. Especially when things started kind of falling apart. I was doing music down there and it didn't really work out, and I wrote a lot. Like
doing cover stuff, you mean?
Like actual, like I was doing originals and I was working on a mixtape and I had like 2 covers on there and a couple originals, but the people, it didn't work out. And I mean, my mixtape's online, but that's when I really started writing, and I think it's when you write, when you're really feeling the emotion, that's really the best stuff comes from that.
And that's what I was going to even ask you too. When you write a song,
yes,
are you strumming away some chords? Do you just have words and then you make the music fit it? Like what's the process for you when you do stuff like that?
Like when I really, like I could be driving in the car and I hear something in my head and I pull out my voice memos.
You do that too? I guess not just me. Good.
And it'll be like either me like humming something. I mean, it's thank God for those voice memos because you have it right there and you just hit record. But I'll either be humming something or doing like a weird beat or like a guitar riff, and then I go home and I work off of that on Logic, or sometimes I make up chords on the guitar. So it depends what I'm inspired from.
Okay.
And it also depends, like if I know what I want to say, so then I could write the words with the music, or have the music then the words, or the words first and the music. So really, it depends.
Yeah, I'm guilty because I do some writing projects, and when I'm working, I have the Bluetooth. Sometimes I don't want to grab the phone. I'm just driving, and I'll just call my home answering machine. And I'll leave a
that's
message.
good.
So if
Never
anybody
thought
ever
of
listens to my home answering machine messages, they'd be like, what the heck is this guy talking about? Because it's kind of funny with some storylines
is
and
funny.
things like that. So you're right, things just inspire you. Because I sometimes you don't just catch it right then. You could forget it.
Well, that's why I have.
And I'm a
my-
little older than you,
my
so I might
voice memo.
forget a little more
Yeah.
than you may, too.
Well, I know if I don't, like, so one time, there's times where I'm like, I'll remember it, but I lose it, so.
Well, whatever you're remembering is going very well. And that's the thing. Even your music style-wise, you know, I've heard you play. How would you describe? We're going to hear some, but how would you describe your type music?
I don't like to label myself.
good.
So I'm in the pop realm.
Yeah.
I grew up with pop. Like every artist I ever really looked up to is in the pop. But I have some rock songs. I have like like Jack Daniels is like a folk.
Right.
You know, it's not really like a pop song, but it depends on where I'm being inspired from, but mostly pop. And then, you know, I trickle into dance and stuff, but
Okay.
yeah.
No, I think hopefully we're going to be hearing one of Christina's songs pretty soon too. Is that something we can do? Yeah, Christina. I think the first song we're gonna do is Single,
Okay.
and we're going to show some of that. And a lot of this was filmed at the Irvington Town Music Hall. I produced a show with 5 original bands. Cristina was there, and she was tremendous. People loved her. And we're going to show some of that. But Cristina, quickly, kind of what's a little bit behind Single? Other than, yeah, you are single.
I did that, yes I am, woo. At lunch. I was home from work on lunch and I found this synth and it was like an 80s synth and I loved it. And you know, like a lot of music coming out is 80s style. And I just like did a beat behind it and some weird stuff and I was just like, I don't know, just write about being single because I was and I was embracing it, so.
And we have a few of your dancers also that
Oh
are
yes,
involved in
they were
that.
awesome. They were amazing.
So, are we ready to go to the single? Okay, here we go.
I was in his home down on the floor dancing for more. When my friend just noticed that he's staring at me, ready to attack. So I turned my back. I was feeling good, I'm looking bad, it's in the cat. But he came up from behind, I turned around, said I don't need a man. Do you understand? Guys ready? Come on, we're gonna have a party. Come on, everybody. Just move and get naughty. Come on, everybody. 'Cause you're single. Single tonight. Single. Feeling alright. Single. Single tonight. Single. And the feeling's right. I get drinks for free, dance on the bar, feel like a star. I'm dancing my way, won't hesitate, 'cause I'm a single lady.
All right, we're back, everybody. Hey, so what'd you think, Cristina? Everybody loved her. That was excellent. The 2 girls that were dancing with you, Peyton,
Sydney and Peyton.
Sydney and Peyton.
They're high schoolers.
Yeah, they were great. They added to
Yeah.
it. But you know, when I was watching that, I'm curious. And actually, somebody asked me, how long did you take to rehearse all that? Because there's another song that we're going to see later where they're dancing
Yeah.
too. There's something took a little bit of time to put that one together.
I think it was about 2 weeks.
Okay.
I tried to do every day, but I know they were busy with school and I was busy doing whatever I was doing. But I think I can't count on my hand, but it wasn't a lot of rehearsals that we had. But
That was really good.
Yeah.
But who's in like the main choreo? You know, who coordinated
my
and decided?
friend, she was choreographing the musical, and the 2
Okay.
girls were in it. And I had mentioned that I needed dancers. I wanted her to help me, and she recommended them, and I got in touch with them. And I went to my friend's house to go over the choreo. So we kind of did it together.
Okay.
Her and and I'm not really a dancer, but I like to dance, and
Oh, that was very good. All that.
I was trying, but because I didn't have, but I wanted to, you know, just join in when I could. I wasn't dancing the whole time, but it worked out really well. They looked really great.
Now, is it the first time you ever worked
thankful.
with them, dancing?
Yeah, I never met
You
them
gonna do it
until
again?
now.
Like, if you have other shows to
I
bring them in?
asked them, and like when I do a music video, I've already asked them if they could be in it and
Okay.
dance for that. So, yeah.
You know, actually, it's okay. I have a few questions. A few people want to ask you. That
Okay.
They were at the show, and some people who just from Reverb Nation and some things. Okay, this was one of the things. We kind of, this is actually from Morgan, from Pittsburgh University.
What?
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why we're trying to, a lot of people probably know who you are more than you might think.
Probably.
And she has you, she's been playing on her MP3, and she says she really likes the way you have different music styles and lyrics. And, you know, some things we talked about, we kind of covered already, but she asked, like, how do you create your songs? But we did cover a little bit on that. I don't know if you want to add a little bit when you do the pop versus the acoustic stuff.
Yeah, so I perform acoustically, and that's the one thing I wanted to do with this show. Like, people have seen me perform in the city, they've seen me around here once or twice in Florida, but I'm not an acoustic singer. I was doing it because I wanted to get out there. But it was just me and my guitar.
It's a little simpler for you just to put a show together,
Yeah.
and it's just like that.
But like with this show, I was so excited because I wanted to show, like, I like to work the stage, I like to move around, I like to dance, and that's really what I want to do. So I'm not an acoustic singer, but I do have
You do
acoustic
great,
songs.
though.
Yeah, I mean, I
People
like
love
it.
when
It's
you did
fun.
it. I love when you did it too.
People
on the
love
pop.
acoustic when you break down a song, like a disco song or something, and then you do an acoustic version. That's what's cool about doing the covers when I perform at restaurants and stuff, because it's versions they've never heard, and people like that.
Okay.
But,
But you do other covers and things like
yeah,
that
I do
too.
stuff like that. But like I was saying before, I don't like to label myself, and I know the music business is like, you have to be this and you have to look like this. But like I would love to be able to break that and say, I'm a pop singer, but I can do anything. And
You know, if it
keep
was
it
up to
pop.
me sometimes, and you said you do some rock stuff,
yeah.
I
Well,
don't
yeah.
know. I know you play guitar, you play acoustic. At home, you have your electric guitar that you just...
No,
No.
I don't have an electric guitar.
Can we get you? I have one. You want
I have
one?
a
I'll let you
keyboard and a
borrow it.
drum
You do a
set.
keyboard? I
Yeah.
love you some bang out some power chords and rock out and
That's
everything.
where I write on my keyboard.
Okay.
For Logic and stuff.
Because I know, like, I mean, I'm a rock guy.
Yeah.
I love my rock. But I love even like when like Joan Jett and things like that like heavy things. And I'd love to see you try that someday, but that's your call. You're,
do like-
you're the artist.
Pat Benatar is my girl. So.
Pat Benatar is great. That's all the stuff I grew up with. She's still out there playing. And you know, we just had that. We're gonna do we're gonna show another clip, a little different than the first one, and I just want to make sure we have them in order. A little different sound. This is going to be Just Because.
Okay.
We're going to do that, and a little bit on that one. What was the inspiration there? Where were you driving around at the time when you left a voicemail or a beat?
No, this one, when I was in Florida, when I was working with the people, you know, that didn't work out. I was in like a well-equipped studio. I was in someone's garage, but they had the equipment.
That's all it takes now.
And, well, yeah, and they played these beats, and I was like, I really like that one, and I wrote to it. I heard the chorus in my head right away.
Okay.
And so then I wrote the verses on like the smallest piece of paper, and I love that song. I think it's groovy, and it was on my mixtape.
Well, and one of the things when we talked about you were going to come in and do this, so if we're ready to go, we're going to hear Just Because we're going to do it right now.
Just because.
About you and the things you do. I was too scared to leave, too scared to make you believe you love me. That's why I need to see if you can show me how you feel about our love. Why? Just because, just because. Can you hold me and tell me what you're thinking of? Just because. And when you left me for the first time, I was going out of my mind, trying to find the plan you designed, stay in my life, then go off with somebody else. You lied, left without a sound, if to take you around, and before you knock me down, you show me how you feel about love. Oh, just because.
to give a little applause? Because I was there. That was a great show. You know, some things we were talking about. You touched a little bit. People, influences, music now, in the past. Like right now, who are some of the artists that you really like? And even older artists, people might be surprised that you liked. I'm always curious what.
Oh, there's so many.
I know.
Justin Timberlake is like the person that I want to be. I'm very honest about that. Like I would trade places with him. I saw him on Mickey Mouse Club, and then I was like playing in the playroom and looked up and saw NSYNC on the TV, and I saw him in JC, and that was instantly my favorite group. But I've followed him.
I grew up with the real Mickey Mouse Club back
Really?
in the day. Yeah,
Wow,
Nef Funicello.
that was
The
a
whole
long
bit,
time
black
ago.
and white even, I know.
That was a
But
very long
that's
time
it. I didn't even know he was on that.
Yeah, I know everything about him. But he's really my number one influence. And then I have Cristina Aguilera. She's such an underrated artist. It makes me mad that she's amazing.
I really like her. I'm probably a little more of a fan of her voice and everything.
She's
too.
amazing.
Yeah, she's excellent.
I don't know how she does it, but her and JoJo, who's coming back, I don't know if anyone knows.
I know the name, but a lot of that stuff, I'm not going to be up on
She's
everything
amazing.
like that. Yeah.
JoJo's
So one day they're going to be talking about Cristina F being amazing and everything. Hopefully someday.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, where do you feel like someday? Where would you like things to go for yourself with the music?
I really just want people to hear my music. I think I have a lot to say. Like, my EP has 5 songs, but I have so many more.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot to say. I've experienced a lot. I'm older than, the artists that are out there now, and I think that's a good thing.
Okay.
You don't see me go through my temper tantrums at 17 or, things like that. But I just think I can inspire a lot of people, and I want to touch a lot of people, and I think that's just what I want to do.
You like to have, I think, a hit or two or something really get played a little bit, and a lot of people like really hear who you are. I would love to see that for you.
I want to
it's
spread
not
it
an
to
easy
a wider
road.
audience. No, it's not. It's really not.
And that's partly why we're here to do some of this. Anything that we could help with, that's what we're trying to get done over here.
It's tough, and it's easy to get. Oh my goodness, what is the word? Unmotivated. That's not the word, but it's easy to be like, I can't do this. It happens a lot, but.
You're doing all your effort. You're doing everything. Mm-hmm. You're out there. You're trying to play, and even the venues. The thing is too, a lot of venues in Westchester. I wish they would allow a little more original music, because everybody wants
New
to
York
cop.
Yeah.
You think even Manhattan has to be a little better? Westchester is not the best place.
I was recently in Cape May, and every night they had a band, and they sang covers. They sang the songs a DJ would play, but it's a band, you can just do so much more. And everyone still loved it. And then when I was in Morristown, New Jersey, everyone was wild, and there were just cover bands. And I think live music is really lacking in New York. Like, everywhere you go, it's just there's no live music.
Well, we're going to hopefully help a little bit, doing some more original stuff. And that's why we did the Irvington show. And we want to have a little more music, a little more Cristina F. And that's what we're here, to promote yourself and your music. And I think we're going to do Alone, which is a little different sound.
Beautiful
That's what I love
song.
about you, a little different. And a little bit, quickly, what do you think? What was that one about?
My time in Florida. I was alone. No, I take this song very seriously. I actually choke up. I think I choked up at that show when I sang it. It's just like a very deep song, and I'm really opening myself up to how I was feeling at the time. And I could like really get into it, and it's kind of depressing, but I just I love the range, and I love that song. It's one of my favorites.
And then when we were going to do the show, I said, make sure you put Alone on there too. So I think it's a great song.
It is.
So if we're ready, let's be alone with Cristina.
I'm alone in this town and nobody can see. Had the pain in the box that's locked inside of me. Ooh. I just want to be free. And I just want you to know that I realize I'm in line. I've got to keep going. Every night I go out right on time. But I have to let go 'cause I don't feel alive. I try hard not to.
Okay, we're back, everybody. I hope you got a little different feel for some of the music that Cristina plays, a song like Alone. You know, when I hear a song like that, and I hear a lot of your other songs, I'm saying to myself, if some of the artists that you just said, if they got their hands on that song and they played it, they say, what a great song, because they're established, everybody knows them. And for a lot of artists like yourself, I think that's a tremendous song. And it's like, how do you get that same message across sometimes that
It's hard.
you get the shot? And you love just that one thing, somebody sees you, maybe who knows, maybe somebody watches the show, sees you, hears somebody's song. And that's what we can only hope something happens. But when I hear that song, I just, if it was somebody that's established and they played that same song, they think it's tremendous. And that's probably true for a lot of artists. And that's a little bit of a struggle to get that word out like that too. But I love that song.
Thank you.
And I hope you're not so
like it
alone.
too.
I hope you're not so alone.
I'm not. I'm okay
You're
now.
back up here and
I'm okay
friends
now.
and family
Yeah.
and everything too. That's
I'm
good
okay
too. One of the things too, and now you're up here and you're from the area and you have your family, friends. Even like growing up, your parents, music-wise, what was their likes, dislikes growing up with them? Is there anything from them?
They're not musical, but they always had the radio on. They always had MTV on. So in the car.
And they grew up with that era with the videos and.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
Of course.
okay.
Like that was always playing. In the car, it would always be the Immaculate Collection by Madonna, the Dirty
Okay.
Dancing soundtrack, which is one of my favorites.
Mhm.
The Beatles, and then all
Hey.
different types of stuff.
I do have a birthday coming up next week, but the Beatles, I was probably 6, 7.
Yeah.
But I remember, some things like that when Ed Sullivan, the whole bit.
Yeah.
And they're still good. I even see my niece, nephews, younger and kids, they still love them. And,
Yeah.
and it's still going
They're a
strong with
good
those
band.
guys
Yeah,
too.
they really are.
Yeah, it's hard to get rid of them Beatles. They just keep coming back. You can't use bug spray or anything. They can't get rid of those guys. And hopefully you never do.
Yeah.
So.
No, they're great.
I do have, I think I have another question that somebody was, there's a few ones that I have they were asking about.
Like a good one.
One thing they asked is, when you play, do you ever get a little nervous?
Yes.
I could see that.
For this show, I was nervous, but I think it's
For
like
Irvington?
yeah,
Okay.
because I knew it was a big show and it was a big deal. But it's like nervous and anxious. But once I get on stage, I'm usually
Because that's what I would say when I saw you playing. You look as calm, whatever, in control. And,
Oh, yeah.
and
I
you're,
love
and you're very,
being on stage. So
yeah, it kind of shows, and hopefully
Yeah.
some of the people, when they saw what you did, that performance-wise, and you sang over tracks on this, but you do perform with a band too, which
I'm working on that. Yeah.
yeah. So that would be even. We talked. That would be even greater when that happens too. So nothing like having a live band. But you were great with the tracks and everything. I thought that was wonderful. That when you
Did
did
what
that.
I had to do.
Okay, and let's see. Let's go to another question from some of our people here. One of the things is really that whole Irvington show. What did you think about the other bands? Because we had 4 other bands that performed, which you probably weren't that familiar with.
No, you're putting me on the spot.
It was very different.
Well, I saw Jordan. We did the open mic together, and
Yes.
I really like him. So I thought, he was great as always. Old Mofos were fun.
Yes, they are.
Who else was there? Oh
We
my
had
goodness,
Sky
that's so
Captains at the
embarrassing.
end.
They were really good.
Yeah, well, everybody was good.
I didn't really get a chance to see them, but I heard them. But they were pretty good.
Okay. Hey,
I might be missing someone.
we're gonna be finishing. One thing I'll say is, somebody gonna be singing the national anthem somewhere soon?
Yes.
Who's gonna be doing that and where?
Singing at Madison Square Garden on June 28th for the New York Liberty versus the LA Sparks game at 3 p.m.
Okay.
You should come.
And we've been showing, if you want information on Cristina, you probably saw the clips of Reverb Nation site. So.
And my website, CristinaFmusic.com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So please, I would like everybody to go and check that out and listen to Cristina, download it, let your friends know. She's wonderful, she's great. Check her for local shows and have some fun. And if you're not doing anything and you get this, you go to Liberty Game and hear you sing National Anthem.
Support your local artists.
Support your local artists. And also, too, if anybody's watching this, we have the site to send me information. If they want to be on the show, they can send me clips, and we'll try to work everybody in. And we're going to have some of the other bands in the future from the Irvington show come. But I'm very happy that you came out here, and
Thank
hopefully
you
we
for
had a little
having me.
fun. No,
Yes, it
I'm
was
I'm very glad, and I'll be seeing you again on some of your other performances too.
Yeah.
I check and let me know, and hopefully one of these days you say, I remember that guy, Steve. We did that little show when you're a super diva and you're on those shows and
I'm not a
judging and with
diva.
Cristina and the whole thing. So we're going to finish it up. We're going to go to one more clip, and I think our last one with our dancers again is going to be Touch Me. Are we ready to? Okay, everybody. Well, we're going to say goodbye, myself and Cristina. We had a good time. Support my friend Cristina. Check her site, and we're going to go, and we're going to see the girls dancing with Cristina. Okay?
Think that you are sexy, and I know that you think, I know that you think, I know that you think that you can touch me, touch me, touch me. I know that you say that you're so hot, and I know deep inside that you think that, but wherever we are, you hit the spot. So come on and show me what you got, show me. Show me. I know that you want it, so come on and give it to me. I can see you flaunt it, so turn around and give it to me. Show me that you want it, I'll turn around and give it to you. You can see me flaunt it, so turn around and give it, show me, touch it, love me. I know you can see, I know you can see, I know you can see that you are sexy, and I know you can be, I know you can be, I know you can be all up on me, on me, on me. I know that you want it, so come on and give it to me. I can see you flaunt it, so turn around and give it to me. Show me that you want it, I'll turn around and give it to you. You can see me flaunt it, so turn around and give it, show me. How you guys doing? When she was on top of me, you had to be believed. Realize we grabbing these. This is what I really need. The room was too tight on me, so that I could not breathe. It's what I really need. So come on, touch me. Give it, show me, touch it, love me.